best countries to live in the world. Yeah, like top 9 best countries in the world. Да, при всем твоем патриотизме, давай все-таки вот посмотрим на другие страны, на то, как там живут. Итак, so, firstly, so...
Так. 9 world best places to live comfortably. A residence permit or citizenship in a country with a high standard of living opens the door to greater comfort. Considerably. The concept of comfort is different for everyone. For some, career prospects are important, and for others, loyalty to foreigners or a prestigious education for children are top priority.
Yeah.
Okay. We have compiled a guide on the best countries to live in and their migration policy. We'll tell you about the countries that have generous employers, high standards of life, and quality education.
Yeah, very good. So, I guess everything's clear here, isn't it?
True.
Классно. Все круто. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm here. Так, so, I guess everything was clear for you.
True.
So, okay, that's cool. That's very cool. So, actually, I didn't insist on your reading. Actually, I only wanted us to read it together. Yeah, and to talk about it a little bit. Yeah, like. Yeah, of course. Of course, Malta, Montenegro, Spain, Greece, and Portugal and dozens of other countries offer residence permits by investment, but it's it's not the topic of our conversation. Yeah, we talk about just the best countries to live in the world. Yeah, and here we can see top 10 countries by the number of citizens living abroad in millions. So, as we can see, 18 million Indians live somewhere abroad. Actually, you can see a lot of Indians, for example, in the United Kingdom, in some other European countries, in the US, actually, in Canada. Yeah, and almost all over the world. Yeah, a lot of Mexicans, because you know Mexico is a pretty criminal country.
I know.
Yeah, Russia. Yeah, because I guess everyone understands why so many Russians live abroad. Because maybe because they don't support the political regime, or for example, something else. Yeah. So I guess okay. Never mind. Okay, China. Yeah, it's also understandable because China is a totalitarian country and not everybody wants to live in such conditions. Yeah, Syria, I guess. We also know because there was war, and if I'm not mistaken, it's still going on. Okay, Bangladesh is a very poor country. Yeah, and actually now, What year is this article, by the way? I don't remember what year this article is. Yeah, it's impossible to discover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. Okay, it's probably it's 2021. Okay, because
Well,
now
I can say
because now.
about China.
Yeah. What can you
If
say?
it just 10 million in percent of population of China, it's lowest percent.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like yeah, 1.5 billion people. Yeah. And actually, I know that Indian population will soon be more than in China. Yeah.
True.
Okay. And actually, I guess this information is outdated because this article was written before. Yeah, it had been written before the war started. So I guess now Ukraine can be number 1 here. Of course, lots of Ukrainians love our country, love our people, and they support they support ZSU, they donate them, and they remain patriots being abroad, even while being abroad. Yeah. So actually, you can also be a patriot. You can keep being a patriot when you're abroad by donating to this too, and to doing some other things like this. Yeah. So it's not necessary to be a patriot and live in your country. Yeah, and or for example, some of them invest in Ukrainian economy. Yeah, such people also exist, by the way. So I guess now the quantity of Ukrainians living abroad is maybe 15 or 16 million. I guess like this. But I can say that the number of this number is now maybe 10 millions bigger, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I heard that some independent company in Ukraine um, made some investigations about the number of people uh, who left Ukraine during this war and who are now abroad. And they have come to uh, such number as 29 million. So only 29 million people remained in Ukraine. Yeah, I guess it's just horrible um, because because it's actually 2 times less than it was in 1991 when it was yeah, when Ukraine pronounced its independence. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And now let's finally talk about the countries with the most comfortable conditions for foreigners. Actually, one of such countries is Singapore. Actually, Singapore is called one of the closest countries to the heaven on the earth. For example, yeah. For example, because of very high salaries, because of very high level of health care, it's one of the best in the world. And by the way, the most, actually it has the best, just the best quality of education in our world, just the best. Yeah, it's number one actually, according to the quality of education. And business conditions are pretty good for some people who have much money. It's pretty easy for you to start a business and to make it successful uh, if you have enough money. Yeah, so you will not be taxed very much, like in Ukraine, unfortunately. Yeah, uh, yeah. So that's why it's very hard to start a business in Ukraine, because there are very high taxes here. Okay, and yeah, and the average salary of foreign specialists in Singapore is, as you see, uh, 162,000 dollars per year. So let's divide it into 12, uh, and we
And start
and we
crying.
yeah, because it's 13,500 per month. Yeah, yeah, we can start crying because in Ukraine, the average salary is like 10 times lower. I guess even more. Uh, yeah, 10 times lower, and after this war ends, we must do something to these salaries. Yeah, I guess our government just must do something to these salaries and to this taxation, because uh, it's uh, it's uh, it's really hard for Ukrainians to make their businesses profitable. Okay, yeah, and the most demanded professions in Singapore are IT specialists, doctors, engineers, and foreign language teachers. Yeah, uh, actually, you want to be a translator, but apart from translations, you can also try to teach a foreign language. And for example, you can start with trying to be a tutor like me. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, I guess your English level is actually enough for that. I can say that your English level is something between B1 and B2, and I guess even more like B2. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And now, um, let's talk about New Zealand. Actually, New Zealand is the third in the ranking of countries most comfortable to live in. Yeah, because
Hmm.
every second respondent noted goodwill towards foreigners. So it means that New Zealand is a very, um, how to say it, it's a very friendly country to the foreigners. Yeah, and the people in New Zealand are, yeah, they love foreigners. Yeah, and they are not xenophobic like, for example, Hungarians.
Hmm.
So yeah, and actually, um, Yeah, and the international professionals, some foreign specialists can earn their $88,000 per year. It's also very big. I guess it's like $6,000 or $7,000 per month. Yeah, and you can earn such money by working in the tourism business or in the agricultural sector. Yeah, and also it's possible to earn such money working in the education sphere, healthcare, or in forestry. Yeah, like this. Yeah, and New Zealand is among the top 10 countries with the highest living standards. Yeah, like this.
Highest.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, and now let's talk about Switzerland. Switzerland has best salaries in the world. Yeah, they are the highest, but don't forget that actually it's also the most expensive country in the world.
true.
But just the simple Swiss people can earn, if I'm not mistaken, uh, 8,000 euros per month. But after considering all their taxes, uh, their net income is 4 point, yeah, 4.5 thousand, like $4,500 per month. And they're just like simple, just like the simple factory workers, for example, or some office workers. Yeah, they earn such big salaries, and as for the specialists, they can give $200,000 per year. So if we divide it into 12, um, so um, it's like 17,000 dollars per month. 17,000. Can you just imagine such big digits?
I can't imagine,
Seven,
but if you pay taxes, um, how much will you get?
actually, actually, I don't know about this. I don't know about that. I know that taxation is a little bit different for foreign uh, for foreigners, but I guess their net profit is maybe a little bit maybe it's like one 150,000 dollars per year, maybe like this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and yeah, and the most demanded professions, as we can see, are uh, IT specialists, doctors, and some economists. Yeah, like this. And here we can see the average annual salary of a foreign specialist. So in Switzerland, it's the highest in the world, and on the second place, there is USA. Um, yeah, then it's Hong Kong, then Singapore, then the United Arab Emirates, then Japan, and then Australia. And the next country is probably Israel, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Like this.
Good.
Yeah, and actually, Switzerland. Yeah, I forgot to say one more thing. Switzerland is actually the country with the highest quality of life in the world. Yeah, and also Switzerland is the most democratic country. It's the country where democracy really works like it should work.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. So there is no corruption. Yeah, there are no such people who can sell themselves to somebody else or like come to the government only because they want to. Yeah, and what I wanted to say else, I forgot. I forgot what I wanted to say else. Apart from this, oh yeah, actually, uh, uh, the, they, they if uh, if the people don't like it, so if the people don't vote for some new laws, they will never be implemented.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like this. And yeah, uh, you will probably be surprised, but Switzerland has four official languages.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, like this. Okay, 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 and now let's talk about Germany. Actually, Germany has very good education. Yeah, and foreign specialists can earn $95,000 per year. Yeah, it's a little bit less, but the taxes are also much less. Yeah, but actually, I don't like Germany because Germany has lots of migrants who don't want to adapt to the German culture, like to the German conditions, to German way of life. Yeah, and they live separately from all Germans. And actually, there are lots of such people, like Arabs, Africans, and some other people from the third world countries who just don't want to adapt, and they make Germany a very criminal country. And unfortunately, the Ukrainian refugees who live there, uh, they made Germany even more criminal. Yeah, that's just horrible. But actually, it's like this. So that's why I don't want to live in Germany. Maybe only in some eastern cities, in some very eastern cities, cities of former German Democratic Republic, because there are no migrants, there are no foreign migrants those cities are completely German. So I guess they are the only cities where I can live and be sure that I won't be killed. Yeah. Okay. And as for Spain, actually Spain has very cool conditions for investors. Yeah. And yeah, and investors can choose what to invest. For example, to invest in real estate, in business, in some government bonds, or they also can place place something on a bank deposit. Yeah, yeah, and if you invest 500,000 euros, it will be much easier for you to get Spanish citizenship. Yeah, something like this. Okay, and as for the quality of life, yeah, the rankings of the quality of life. Yeah, the highest quality of life in 2020 was in Switzerland, Canada, and Japan. Yeah, and there are also some other countries like Sweden, the Netherlands, Norway, Denmark, and Finland. Actually, as for me, the best countries in the world are Switzerland, Norway, Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, Finland, the Netherlands, and maybe Luxembourg. Yeah, like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. And as for me, all the other countries, all the other countries are all the other countries are not nearly as good as these ones. Yeah, yeah, and actually that's that's pretty bad. So yeah, I have such a desire that after this war ends, Ukraine will be like them. Ukraine will have the same quality of life as in Norway or in Finland. It's my desire, and actually I very often see such dreams. Yeah, it's pretty strange, but I often have such dreams where I go out and just walk around Kryvyi, my native city, and I see a lot of new buildings and even skyscrapers. Yeah,
Skyscrapers.
yeah, skyscrapers in Kryvyi. Yeah,
Sounds incredible.
yeah, yeah. And I guess it can be possible because actually Kryvyi is a pretty long city, so it can be like it can be um, increased in its wide. Uh, so yeah, so it can be made much wider, and yeah, I can. Yeah, I can imagine Kryvyi to be like the second Tokyo according to its population. It's possible to make it like the second Tokyo because it's like uh, it has uh, it has a lot of minerals. It probably has the biggest amount of minerals in Ukraine and one of the biggest, or probably the biggest in whole Europe. So it can easily become a manufacturing capital of Europe. if there only are some, if there only were some investments in the manufacture. So yeah, it can easily be like the second Tokyo or even the second New York, or even like the New York of Europe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, with lots of skyscrapers and lots of very modern buildings. Yeah, like this. So it's just my dream. Uh, okay. Okay, actually, another country with very high living standards is Canada. Yeah, actually, such cities as Vancouver, Toronto, and Calgary lead the list of the most attractive cities to live in. Yeah. And actually, I have one student from Toronto and one student from Vancouver. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and I also have one student from Winnipeg.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, like this. So yeah, many Ukrainians like Canada too. Yeah, and yeah, maybe you remember that there is yeah, there are uh, very many Ukrainian immigrants, and yeah, there is a big Ukrainian diaspora. So you can feel at home there in Canada. And yeah, I know that there are some schools which are completely Ukrainian. Yeah, yeah, they are some.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that yeah, in many schools the Ukrainian language is taught. So yeah, so I guess you can feel home there. Yeah, and as for Canada in world rankings, it actually has the second best quality of education in the world. Yeah, and it's number 4, and uh, yeah, uh, and like in the list of the best countries for raising kids. Yeah. Okay. Actually, Luxembourg is a very interesting country because Luxembourg has one of the most one of the highest GDPs in the world.
GDPs.
Yeah, GDP. Yeah, one of the
Ah.
most. Yeah, yeah, one of the highest GDPs in the world. Yeah, but the average salaries for foreign specialists are only 70,000 euros per year. Actually, it's a lot less than in Switzerland, for example. And if you want to live if you want to live uh, if you want to live a very comfort life, so Austria is your destination. Austria has the most comfortable cities in the world, and Vienna was always considered the best city to live, like the city with the best infrastructure in the world. Yeah. And as for
Okay.
as for the other, yeah, as for the other conditions, they are also very high. They're also a very high level. Yep. Okay, like this. And Finland. Actually, maybe you heard something about World Happiness Index, like this. And Finland, actually, Finland is considered the happiest country in the world. Yeah, and Finland takes the first place for yeah. Actually, Finland has taken the first place for many years, and actually, I don't know how many years it will. Yeah, it will take. How many more years it will take the first place? Yeah, but it's actually yeah, pretty interesting. So yeah, and as for the Legatum Institute Prosperity Index, it has the fifth place. Yeah. Yeah, like this.
Fifth place.
And
Okay.
um,
Fifth place.
yeah, the fifth place. Yeah, like this. Yeah. And as for me, as for me, Finland is a very good country to live, and I've seen a lot of a lot of old buildings to Soviet Khrushchevkas. Yeah, actually, um, beginning from 1950s to 1980s, there there had been built hundreds of living houses, like blocks of flats, just hundreds of or even thousands of blocks of flats, like in the Soviet Union, uh, like uh, like in socialistic countries like Poland or Czechoslovakia or Yugoslavia. And now actually they renovated them. They renovated them um, uh, in such a cool way that you will never think that they are so old. Yeah. So that's a very good example what we can do with old Khrushchevkas, and I guess that I guess we can do something similar in Ukraine. And I can even show you some renovated Khrushchevkas in Lithuania. Yeah, I want to share my screen again. I guess you'll be surprised. It's Klaipėda, the city in Lithuania. In Lithuania, yeah, and actually it's how Khrushchevkas look like nowadays. Yeah, like this. And it's not the best example actually. It's completely not the best example. I've seen some Khrushchevkas which looked much better than these ones. I just want to find them right now for you. Yeah, 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 like maybe something like this, for example. like this. Yeah, it was a Soviet Khrushchevka. Yeah,
Not bad.
yeah. And now it looks like this. And yeah, I'm not sure if if it was built uh, in uh, in the Soviet Union. No, it wasn't. It completely wasn't. But also these buildings, these blocks of flats, yeah, they look not very good, but much better than Ukrainian blocks of flats. Yeah, yeah. I want to find some more buildings like this. I remember that there are lots of them somewhere here. Yeah, yeah, like this, for example, like this one. It was also Khrushchevka. Yeah, yeah, this one is not so good, but yeah. So yeah, so now we can see how cool some of them look like nowadays. Yeah, or like this, for example. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay, this example is also not very good, but yeah, if I'm not mistaken, here are also very good Khrushchevkas. No, they aren't. Okay, but yeah, so it's just a good proof that in Ukraine we can do something very similar. Oh, yeah, these ones. Yeah, these were also Khrushchevkas. Yeah, these buildings were. Yeah, these buildings are Khrushchevkas. Yeah,
Modernism.
uh, yeah, and just look how they are like nowadays. Yeah, yeah. So we can do something very similar. Yeah, and I even know that in Lviv, uh, yeah, they implemented some something like this. Yeah, and they tried to renovate some Khrushchevkas. Yeah, maybe I can even find some of them, but most of them are maybe just like living complexes, modern living complexes. So I'm not sure that it's really them. No, it's uh, it's completely not them, or maybe I'm watching uh, at the wrong place. Maybe I need to find them in a different place. I don't know. Maybe yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe I can find them. Yeah, in some different place. Maybe or no. Actually, yeah. Actually, I can find a lot of buildings like this in Lviv. So yeah, so it's like how you can increase your patriotism. Yeah, yeah, we have yeah a lot of such buildings in Lviv, but actually these are some living complexes, and if we look around, we will see this picture. Yeah. Maybe it looks not as good as we wanted to, but yeah, yeah. So such pictures can increase your patriotism a lot, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I actually don't really like this yard, and I don't like that there are lots of cars, and there are no any parkings for them, so they park whenever they want. So I don't know why it's so hard for them to make to make an underground parking for them for these cars. Yeah, it's a very widespread practice in Europe. So actually, we still have much to learn from from Europe. Yeah, but we have such buildings like this, and, and nowadays there are more and more buildings like this in Lviv. Um, yeah. But I would like the whole Ukraine. I would like the whole Ukraine to look like this. Just the whole our country. And as for yeah, I said the whole Ukraine. Actually, yeah, it's pretty interesting. But in America, there is such a tendency to call our country the Ukraine with the article the.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So if I say the whole Ukraine, it's not. Yeah, it's not a grammar mistake. It's not a mistake. So it's possible to say like this. Okay. Okay. Um, I guess. I guess that's maybe enough for today, or we can look at Sweden a little bit just to know how Sweden looks like, if you want.
Maybe enough.
Okay, so if it's enough, so okay, okay. I wish, yeah, I wish you, yeah, I wish you had, yeah, I wish you had stayed. Uh, no, not like this. Yeah, I wish, yeah, mm, I wish you had a lot of positive feelings and positive emotions there in Sweden, in Stockholm. Yeah, and uh, I wish you liked it very much, and also I wish you had been pleased a lot there.
Thanks.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So so when you okay when you are able